Now remember, Nandini products are sold in Karnataka at a price point much lower than those of Amul, and you'll see it just in a moment as I bring that data up. And Amul as a cooperative can frankly go anywhere in the country and sell their products. So is this really a political backlash that's being driven by politics? Is this really being turned into a campaign by the Congress party because they want to turn this into a matter of Kannada pride, making it seem as if a Gujarat-based cooperative would eat up a Kannada cooperative, a Karnataka-based cooperative? And is this just politically malicious and factually incorrect? Joining us on this broadcast, we've got K.S. Naveen, MLC of the Bharatiya Janata Party, squaring off against him. Aiyshwarya Mahadev of the Congress. Harish Bijur is one of the country's leading brand strategy experts. And Sandeep Shastri joins us on this broadcast, leading political scientist. I want to go across to Aiyshwarya Mahadev first, because I have data here which suggests that if you compare product by product, the price points at which Nandini's products sell versus those of Amul, there is a big difference. Just to take one example, Nandini stone milk sells at the price of 39 rupees a litre. Amul sells the same in different parts of the country at 54. Half a litre of curd for Amul is 30, Nandini sells at 24. So even if Amul were to come in to a state like Karnataka, given the kind of incentives Nandini enjoys, in a free market, it is highly unlikely that Amul would disrupt the Nandini business. Are you frankly turning this or trying to turn this into a major issue just because you've got an election around the corner? Aiyshwarya Mahadev, let's start from there.
Good evening, Rahul. I think first and foremost with what you have said, it is not just the Congress party that is protesting about it. It is people on the street, it is Kannada organizations, it is even hotel owners associations that realize the threat that a homegrown cooperative and indigenous cooperative is facing today, one. And second, you know, when you talk about how the price point is wonderful and how we will be able to withstand competition from, let's say, Amul having a national presence. Rahul, one of the reasons that we're able to serve at such a low price while also keeping our farmers happy is because of the fact that the state also massively incentivizes farmers to not only produce more and more milk, but also procurement is something that they look at.
Now, what's the point you're making? It's because of that incentive that Nandini is sold cheaper.
Yes. No, Rahul, the point I'm trying to make is this. The state of late has not only lowered procurement but has also not been offering the support price, which for a lot of the farmers has basically been a little bit of fear because the resources are coming down and the milk being sent out is already lower. And I believe if you look at the systematic way in which cooperatives have been subsumed, or the systematic way in which indigenous units have also been taken over, this is just one of the steps of the part of how I believe that Amul can try and damage KMF.
No, but some of this is not factually correct. The scheme was started under the government of B.S. Yediyurappa. Your Chief Minister Siddaramaiah enhanced the incentives which were given, and those have been further enhanced by the current Chief Minister Bommai. So it's not as if...
How many months the money has not been paid? For the past 6.5 months, none of the dairy farmers have been getting the Protsaha Dana, as we call it in Karnataka.
The government denies it. The government says 1,200 crore rupees are given. There is an incentive of 6 rupees per litre which is given to the cooperatives as part of the budget.
No, Rahul, from what used to be close to 4,000 plus crores that happened to be offered as incentives to dairy farmers under the Siddaramaiah government, to offer only 1,200 crores now is an absolute shame and a sham, because the majority of the farmers are not getting that. Add to that the fact that the lumpy cow disease was massively something that hit our livestock. You realize that there is a lot of stress for our indigenous farmers, and now you bring in a company. I'll also understand your argument where you say they've been there for years. This is a company that has now hit the milk and the curd market, which they'd refrained from previously, as you do a lot of cooperatives with these unsaid understandings that they have. And you're looking at Nandini under pressure, which supports the livelihoods of millions and millions of farmers. And you see that there's a direct threat and attack to Karnataka's farmers. And Rahul, one last point and question I ask. If the money made in my state why should the money made in my state not go back to my own farmers? Why is the money made in my state being sent somewhere else? We're just saying,
no, that's very parochial thinking. Instead, you should be coming out with a plan to take Nandini national, to make Nandini a force to reckon with against Amul across the country, rather than trying to build up these boundaries. But just one second.